Wow. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, oh, oh my god. Oh, it's him. Oh my gosh. It's that thing. Oh my gosh. Is it friendly? It's friendly, right? It doesn't. He's creeping me out. I'm gonna walk away. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's following me. He's following me. He's following me. Oh my god. Yo. Yo. Oh my gosh. Hiya, welcome to my video. Today we're gonna be reading Reddit stories as I play Minecraft. So obviously this is a new forever world, so I'm just gonna be exploring, getting some animals, and also surviving nights. Enjoy. Now the first story is titled Matched with Her Mother. It reads, alright, now hear me out. I matched with this girl on Hinge and she was a certified 10 out of 10. Great conversation, easy to talk to, gorgeous, funny, the whole package. We talked enough that I finally dropped my number, like, alright, cool, we've graduated from the app. But it was straight crickets. I guess she ignored him or something. So I did what every emotionally mature adult does and accepted defeat. I preserved my dignity and moved on. Well, a few days later, I matched with another woman, also a 10 out of 10, somehow looked 10 years younger than her age, hilarious, confident, and built like she still got carded at college bars. Here's where the universe decided to start drinking. She adds me on Instagram, and I realize that's her mother. At this point, I'm staring at my phone like I accidentally unlocked a side quest no one prepared me for. Mind you, I had absolutely no clue. Fast forward and the mom comes over. We instantly hit it off. 1 hour later and we're in bed. Round after oh god. Round after round, like both of us were trying to win custody of the conversation, whatever that means. Now I'm sitting here wondering if Thanksgiving is going to require a seating chart and a mediator. Should I tell the mother I also spoke with her daughter? What are your thoughts? Okay. It's going to come out, right? I feel like he should just like heads up, let the daughter know, like, hey, by the way, I might have matched with her, but it might be like a funny move to do where you just like, she invites you over to dinner and the daughter is like, oh wait, aren't you that guy? But like, can you imagine if like they get married or something? Can you imagine your new, I guess, what is it, step dad is like a guy you used to date? Isn't that what happened with like Miley Cyrus as well? I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments. Has anything like this ever happened to you? And if it did happen to you, what would you do in this instance? Anyway, moving on to the next story. Alright, this next one is an AITAH, which stands for Am I the A-hole? And it reads, Am I the a-hole for not forgiving my parents for not believing I was really suffering for years and making it worse? It reads, I, 17 female, was the toddler who caught every single sickness that was spreading around. Apparently, my parents said it was typical and never wondered why I was so sick so often. Our doctor mentioned that it would be great to have me monitored because I was catching more than they were expecting for someone my age, but they never took her seriously. So, when I started school and would tell my parents I wasn't feeling good, they were dismissive and they sent me in all the time. 9 out of 10 that would result in the school nurse calling them and asking them to take me home. My parents told me they knew I just didn't like school and I couldn't be sick that often. We went on for 3 years exactly like that. The times they did decide to keep me home, they were annoyed that I would spend a lot of the time sleeping, and they told me that it proved nothing because I clearly just liked to sleep. When I was 8, I was diagnosed with autoimmune disease. It didn't happen because my parents finally started to take it seriously. It was actually diagnosed because I went to school feeling okay, but during lunch I got really, really dizzy and lightheaded, and I felt really weak. They called an ambulance and I was diagnosed in the hospital only because of that. Knowing my parents, they would have ignored me. Even with the diagnosis, my parents were dismissive and they felt like I was playing up on having a diagnosis, like I was faking it. They would tell me to go to school no matter how bad I felt and give it 2 hours at least. Then they would get mad when I didn't make it that long at school, or when I did, but it was immediately after they got a call. I felt like crap all the time and I felt like my parents didn't believe me. When I was 15, we got into a fight over it and they admitted they didn't believe I was as bad as I was claiming. They said I was acting like I was suffering all the time, when in reality, I was probably just trying to get out of school. Earlier this year, I was diagnosed with a form of epilepsy on top of my autoimmune disease. The seizures I have are small and aren't noticeable to most people unless they are really focused on me, but they have built up enough to cause extra problems for me, and combined with the autoimmune disease, they sort of play against each other to make it much, much worse. My parents had a scare with the epilepsy diagnosis, and now they're suddenly willing to accept I actually felt like crap and I have been suffering this whole time. They apologized and asked me to forgive them, and they said they want us to work together to make sure I can lead as normal of a life as possible now. Okay. But I didn't forgive them, and I don't know that I ever will. I don't really want to. They have made everything so much worse for me than it needed to be, and it has taken this long for them to realize and be serious about it. I think I deserve better, but some close family members are pushing for me to work this out with my parents. My parents are also acting like they're the victims of this, and I feel like I lose all my support system if I don't forgive them. Am I the a-hole? Oh, gosh. Every single family conflict or relationship is always deep, and there's always a lot of complexity tied into it. In this case, I honestly just feel bad for the child in this situation, the 17-year-old female, because how frustrating must have it been to know in your heart like there is something wrong. I don't know what it is, but there's something wrong, and for every single person to not believe you, especially the people that you live with, especially the people that gave birth to you, the people that you are supposed to trust the most. Like I couldn't even imagine how that would feel. It's like you're constantly living in contradiction and like turmoil, almost like a civil war at home. Maybe I just like peace, but I would say that they could try and form a way to forgive, especially if they might lose their support system. It might be worse for them to go through this alone, but at the same time, I would understand if they wouldn't, and I would understand if it would take time for them to even try to start to forgive. Because what do you mean? Oh, now that something bad almost happened, now is when you care. Oh, okay. So if I died, then you would finally open your, like it's like, what, you're supposed to listen to your children, you know? Yeah, tell me you guys' thoughts on this story. It's very deep and complex. Yeah, I don't personally think that they are the a-hole in this situation at all. They are indeed the victim, and I do wish them the best in their healing journey. I hope everything works out for them in the end. Now, moving on to the next story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to book a ticket for someone I don't trust? It reads, I'm going on an international trip with a friend. We planned everything in advance and split responsibilities between us. We each booked our own flights. He handled the accommodation and I booked some of the activities. He paid me back for his share with no issue. Now here's where it gets messy. There's another person involved who I'm not close with personally, and honestly I do not trust. My friend is still in contact with her. but he has complained about her multiple times in the past, including saying that she owes him a pretty significant amount of money for years ago that she never paid him back. She recently moved to the country we're visiting, so my friend told her about our trip and asked if she could show us around. He also mentioned she might join us for one of the activities. I told him very clearly that I was fine with booking tickets for us, me and my friend, but I was not booking or fronting any money for her because the ticket is expensive and I do not want to be in a position where I have to chase someone for payment. My friend said okay. Fast forward a couple of months, I asked if my friend ever confirmed whether she was joining. He told me he messaged her something along the lines of, "Are you coming? My friend is booking the tickets." My friend being the writer of the story. That annoyed me because I had already told him I wasn't booking for her. I reminded him that I was not buying her ticket and she said she could book her own anyway if she wanted to come. Or if he wanted to handle it, he could book for her that attraction and I would just reimburse him for my share. He then said, "Oh, well, she'd be embarrassed not to pay you back." I told him I still wasn't comfortable taking that risk and said he shouldn't front the money for her either if she has a history of not paying people back. Now I feel like he made it seem like I'm the one being difficult, even though I set the boundary from the beginning. So am I the a-hole for refusing to book a ticket for someone I don't trust? Absolutely not. Oh, by the way, they added some context. They said that she was a friend back in college, but events happened that led me to not trusting her in everything. I wouldn't trust this girl. Okay. There is one thing people hate much more than deception and lies, and that is literally lack of justice, like lack of the right thing being done. And in a situation where you've like borrowed money and you just take it and you don't pay it back, it's like excuse me? It's literally almost like theft, you know? But people just dumb it down under, "Oh, we're just friends, it's fine." But no, it's my money, you pay me back, right? But yeah, I don't think they are the a-hole in this situation. They set the boundaries to begin with. So what are you talking about? Like, I already told you I wasn't paying, but it's also a lack of respect to this friendship for you to just tell her, "Oh no, they're gonna book it, it's fine." No, they're not. I think the writer's friend and the writer's friend's friend, the girl, both have a misunderstanding of what it means to operate a healthy friendship, because there's a lot of boundaries being broken here. But let me know you guys' thoughts on this story. Like, what would you do in this situation? Like, I wouldn't be like fuming angry, but I would definitely be annoyed, and I would take caution for any future events that I go out with that friend to just be like, I don't know if we should share finances anymore, because I'm a bit scared, especially if I told you like one thing, then you told somebody else a completely other thing. It's just such a lack of trust. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments about this story. Let's move on to the next one. Am I the a-hole for not sharing my lottery scratch-off winnings with my sister and brother-in-law? It reads, "Hi, I'm 33 male. To make this short and readable, my elder sister lets her husband spend anywhere from $400 to even $800 a month on scratch-off tickets. He buys the $20 and $50 tickets at the same time as he does that. Both he and my sister will complain to other family members and anyone that will listen that they are struggling financially." Now, to the meat of this story, my brother-in-law, who is 35 male, rode with me to a gas station, and once there, he proceeded to waste $520 on scratch-offs, which were all duds, and they didn't win him anything. Seeing me slightly judge him, he told me to stop being a stick in the mud and to buy a ticket. So I pulled a single dollar bill out of my pocket and bought the Halloween themed scratch off. This all took place in October 2025. As I was lamenting to him on how much money he wastes every month, I finished scratching off the ticket, only to find out that one of my matching numbers was above a $10,000 winning. Upon further inspection, I'd forgotten to scratch off the double area. When I did, it came up to 2x, to which the kind cashier confirmed it meant I had won $20,000. My brother-in-law immediately cycled through emotions before demanding I hand the ticket over to him to see, then making a scene in the gas station when I asked to borrow a pen to start filling out the back of the card. From there, chaos rained down on me, as not only did my brother-in-law, but my sister as well attempted to gaslight me into at least splitting the winnings with them. I told them no. Fast forward a few days, and now my parents, whom are in their late 60s, are gaslighting me into forking over $10,000 of lottery winnings to them. I told them no. Fast forward again, and in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner at my parents' place, they, along with my sister, brother-in-law, and other siblings, start verbally concerning me about money. Now, not only do they still want the 10K from me, but my other siblings want some money as well, with my eldest brother attempting to convince me to pay for a family vacation. I again turn them all down, which of course turns into everyone calling me selfish and an a-hole, amongst other very colorful words. So, am I the a-hole for not forking over my scratch-off winnings? Okay. Ugh. I don't even know what to say. I mean, okay, the whole basis of scratch-off winnings and the lottery and everything, it's supposed to be random, somewhat, right? So, the unfairness of it will always be expected. They want that money, they don't have to share it. But for the sake of, them being your family, and I don't know, like, I would share some, not all, but certainly some, especially if it's like a dire situation. Someone needs some help paying rent or bills or something. I would help. But of course, for the rest, it's my winnings, you know what I mean? But for the brother-in-law and his sister, his wife, tough luck, I guess. Like, I'm not really sure what to say to them. That's kind of the whole point of a lottery. That's the beauty and the pain. But what do you guys think about this? Would you give your money over to them or not? Like, for the sake of, like, what is it called? Harmony in the family? Because I know for a fact this is going to be talked about in many various family gatherings and occasions after this. Like, everyone is going to talk about this. Oh, you remember that time you won 20K and you didn't give it to anyone? Yeah, you're not invited to Christmas dinner. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of stuff. I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Blood is thicker than water, and money will never be as thick as blood. That's all I'm gonna say. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comments about this story. Alright, those were the stories I had to read for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, if you enjoyed or disliked some of them, what you would do in certain situations, and all of that jazz. I will see you in the next one.